There we are. We are live.
Yes, we are.
Okay. Hello and welcome everybody to the Enlightenment Exchange. I'm excited because our subscriber numbers have been climbing a little bit recently. We're up to 116, I think, which is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are listening and you have not yet hit that subscribe button, please do so. And if you are a longtime listener and you already have subscribed, if you like us, share us.
Right. You could even like put a banner, on your car.
Don't go to any additional unnecessary expense. We will not be reimbursing you for any of John's cockamamie ideas.
And boy, do I have them.
Yes. Anyway, so that's cool. So before I love people have been asking me about this topic because when I talk about doing readings and things, this is what I do. So I'm going to do the best I can to convey it in words without being in the room with a person, but I think that we're going to be able to do fine. But I wanted to tell a quick story because something really interesting happened, and that we just every once in a while we get signs. We get signs from loved ones or angels or wherever they may come from. And my husband and I were at the AT&T store the other day, and they have a big round table where you can sit and you talk. His phone. Well, actually, I guess our plan was too old, and so we had to get our plan upgraded to the 4G, 5G, whatever.
Yep.
So while we were sitting there and they were working on his SIM card and doing that, there was it was a, I don't know, what would you call it? A handout. It was three sheets of printer paper, printed, stapled together. And it was about DirecTV streaming.
Sure.
So I picked it up. I looked at the pages. I went through the pages to see what the channels were because the guy told us, wow, you could save about $70 a month. Hi, Coventina.
Hey, Coventina.
You guys could save about $70 a month if you switch from what you have to this, DirecTV streaming. I'm like, well, that's cool because I've been really thinking that what they're charging us is way too much, and I've been meaning to do something about it.
Cool.
So I looked through to see that because it was a channel list. I looked through to make sure the channels that I want are on there, and then hand it to him. I looked through all of the pages to make sure the channels I wanted were on there.
Right.
I handed it to him, and when he lifted the first page, a penny fell out.
That's astounding.
We were all sitting there like, where did that penny come from? I mean, I went like this and looked at all the pages, and okay. Yeah, so that's, kind of strange, right?
Yeah. Let's talk about that real quick. When I was first on my journey, my spiritual journey, I found pennies all the time, like every single day. Now I worked downtown and I walked a lot when I was down there. And then one time on a particular interesting afternoon, I was with my son and my wife, and we were walking, and I happened on literally a pile. It was a pile of pennies on the ground. I'm like, okay, I get it. That was my.
So that's really interesting when you say that. We have a couple of people in the comments saying hello. So hello, everybody.
Yep,
thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, everybody, please like and
subscribe. Everybody like and subscribe. We would love that. Thank you so much. I have a friend. We were talking about the same thing, pennies. And whenever she felt her father, who had passed, whenever she felt his presence, she would somewhere find a pile of pennies. She always knew She always knew that it was him because it was a pile of change
Holy
rather
cow.
than just a random penny.
All right.
So
I got one of those. So
yeah, that, you know,
you could probably make
I
a living
wonder,
off that.
I always wonder how much energy it takes for a loved one on the other side to gather pennies.
I have wondered that too. I really have. What does it take to flicker the lights? Who gets to learn that? Who gets to
Right?
who gets to send pennies, butterflies, frogs?
Yeah, that, there you go.
I got it.
Yeah, that's sorry, I have this like head cold thing going on, so I'm a little bit anyway, I wonder, you know, but I think it takes a considerable amount of energy to actually do that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think whoever it is has the stick-to-itiveness to figure it out, right?
Yeah.
Like and so that's why when people say, "Oh, my house is haunted," or this or that, I'm like, and see, when she finds when Deborah finds a dime. Okay. Oh no, wrong one.
Oh shoot.
I hope you can undo that.
I will undo it. Let me think. All right. So just a message here to Deborah. We're working on it.
Yeah, she can't hear you, I'm sure. Oh no. Okay, we're gonna have to just leave those things go.
All right.
All right. Anyway, okay. So all right. Now we got all sidetracked, and that was the point, I'm sure. So anyway, okay. So John, you are you do a lot of readings, right? So
I do.
What is there anything in particular that you do before you sit down and do a reading? I'd like to hear that before I really go into what I'm talking about.
Sure. Like when I'm ready to do a tarot reading.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a ritual. My ritual is I always ask for the best outcome for both, the client and whatever the concern is. I ask for the, like, I don't have the eloquent words that some other readers have, but it's like we want all of the good to be available to us and none of the bad. And one thing I've learned from you is the the neutral state. Try to get into the neutral state. So yeah, long and short of it is, it's basically a prayer of connecting and a prayer asking for guidance and yeah, to be open to the messages. That's primarily it.
Okay, that makes sense. So, I mean, I think that's pretty standard to what people do, Okay, hold on a second. Something silly going on with my computer.
Okay.
But I'm good. I'm still here. Just
All right.
it's time for a new computer. So there you go.
I did that already. I got mine.
I have one. I just haven't hooked it up.
Still in the box?
Yeah, of course.
Awesome.
Okay. There we go. All right. Anyway, okay. So what I want to talk about today is creating an energy matrix when you're doing your readings. Oh man, I feel so bad. But that's okay. Were you able to reach out at least and tell
Yeah.
her?
Yep. I already let her know.
Okay. All right. Let me regroup for just a second. Okay.
Sure.
So when we do card readings, I believe that what is happening is we're using the cards to translate the energy. So intuition is how you connect to, receive, and interpret energy. So we use the cards as a bridge to our intuition, basically. So it's like a tool to assist us in interpreting the energy that we receive. Right? Does that make sense?
It does. Yep.
So what I do is I create what I call I create energy matrices. I don't really like that word for some reason.
Matrices.
Yeah, like that one's not great either, right?
Okay.
I mean, like, so an energy matrix. I create an energy matrix for a number of different things. When I do a group energy event, I create a matrix for that the people from the group are drawing from. And when I do when I created the energy modality, it's not a modality, I mean, whatever. When I created that Reiki program that I created an energy matrix for the attunements. So basically, an energy matrix is a container from which to do the work.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you a quick question. What is the difference between a container and, say, a crystal grid?
Well, a crystal grid is rocks on a table or whatever.
Okay.
But a container is an energetic container. It's not.
Oh, okay.
So this is not a physical thing. This is an energetic.
Okay.
So I think that when we talk about, I really wish I hadn't taken that antihistamine or whatever it is. When we think about how people teach doing readings,
yeah,
they always address the cards, they address intuition and maybe your clairs, but they never address the energetic nature of what's happening. Or rarely. I mean, I don't want to say never. Not that I don't believe in energy, but I believe that we all have more power over energy than a lot of people give us credit for, right? Like, we can really use what we know and what we understand about how these interactions work and dial in the work and actually get to a place where the cards are not necessary, so to speak.
Yeah, right. Where
so
yep.
And it's funny because I believe that's one of the reasons why I don't resonate so much with the tarot, is not that I don't believe in the cards, but because I have not committed to learning the framework of it. And so for me, oracle cards are just easier because what I'm really looking for is like a prompt.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
it's almost like a journal prompt, right?
Yeah.
Like I get the card and then I grab onto the energy of that card and I use that to begin to weave the story or to weave the answer or, what have you, when I'm given the answer to the query. So
yep.
The way that works really is all, for me, visualization. So we know I do a prayer of intention. I don't call it a prayer of protection. I call it a prayer of intention.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I do that is because I just find the idea that we're constantly in need of protection to be very fear conscious.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just what resonates with me. Whatever resonates with anyone else is what they should do for themselves. But I rather say that my intentions are what protect me. For example, my prayer of intention is, I and my surroundings are filled with light, creating a safe and sacred container from which to do my work. Only good comes to me. Only good comes from me. I give and offer gratitude for everything that is about to take place. And into this container, I invite the guides, teachers, and angels appropriate to this particular reading or situation, whatever it might be, so that we can get sound and accurate information, divine and lighted. That's not
Lit.
usually what I use, but divine information that walks in the light, right? Like, you know.
Yep.
So basically what I've done is I've created a space where the assistance is there if I need it, where I can invite the querent or the client into the room. Now we're inside this room, so to speak, that's in the visualization or container, which is all an energy matrix is. It sounds, I mean, you think of the movie and and all
Right.
that. It sounds like a lot.
And
Sounds like a lot more, but the truth is, I've worked with people, and when I show them this, they can feel the difference. That right away, like when they're doing a reading. So it's just about being connected and about connecting to the energy. The more we connect to the energy of everything, we've got some things coming up where we're going to talk about connecting to the energy, like connecting to the energy of the things that we're grateful for, or connecting to the energy of what's going on around us, like the middle of the year, the exact middle of the year, right? Like we've got some things coming up where we're going to really try to focus and talk about the connecting to the energy of what we're trying to do. Because I think the more we can understand and connect to the energy, the better off we are on this planet. Because what's missing in the world, this is good. What's missing in the world right now is the fact that social media and texting and really not communicating face to face within one another's energy has created a situation where people don't get immediate responses to their actions or to their words. And so the more connected to the energy we try to be and try to become, the more we can gain control of our empathetic or empathic nature, so that we start speaking from our hearts instead of our egos, that we start reacting from love, which is the antidote to fear. And so that's where I'm going with all this. So far, so good. How does it sound? What do you think?
Yes. So I want to follow that line of reasoning a little bit about speaking from the heart instead of speaking from the mind. And tell me a little bit more about how our kind of addiction to immediate responses is causing that, is a problem. I agree it's a problem. So let me ask you this. If we were able to be more in our hearts and more connected, I guess, to nature and to spirit, would getting away from instant gratification help us along that path?
I don't know. I'm a pretty instant gratification type person. I mean, I think that okay, right. All right. There's not one answer for that.
Okay.
It's, for some people, the answer is yes. For other people, the answer is no.
Okay.
But if we all just started to embrace the idea of connecting to the energy of our surroundings and what we do and our work, then the correct answer to that question would simply present itself.
Okay, that makes sense.
I'm still, I mean, I've been struggling with that need for instant gratification for a long time. I don't see it changing anytime soon. But
I have a friend who does, I guess, spiritual therapy, if I can call it that. And she says it's just astounding how many people that come on as new clients that are so disconnected from their hearts. Her first question is, what makes you happy? And they have no idea.
Oh, yeah, right. Well, I mean, but like I said, the texting, social media, people do not have a connection with the other people that they're interacting with,
Okay. Yep.
right?
Right.
That's really what would make a change. It's not really, I mean, nature would be good because maybe it would start getting people to understand they need to protect the planet, but it's the fact that we're disconnected from one another,
I see what you're saying. Okay. Yep.
right?
Yep.
So,
Yep.
well, this took a turn that I didn't expect.
Sorry. I'm trying
No,
to keep
it's okay, but I mean it's okay because we saw it happen. You know, I mean, when I sit down to do the show, I create an energy matrix for myself from
Mhm.
which to have the conversation. And there were outside energies in the comment section
Yeah.
that were able to really throw me off. And those people that were doing such things do not receive any energetic consequence to their actions.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, they get banned. Maybe then the wrong person gets banned. That was really sad. But we'll fix it. We'll figure it
We'll
out.
fix it.
But the point is, they're like, oh, haha, look, those people, we threw them off, and so they gave us the boot, right? Like, so instead of when you say something hurtful to someone to their face,
Mm-hmm.
whether they have an actual verbal response to you or not, there is a reaction within their energy, and you can feel that. I don't
Mm-hmm.
care if you're, as an empath. I think we're all empathic, right? Like I believe we're all empaths, and I believe that's necessary to walk around in the human world, right?
Yeah.
But if you're standing face to face, you have the opportunity to feel it, even if they don't say anything, and you think to yourself for a moment, "Oh my gosh, what did I just do?" Where instead, if you're saying it on a text or on a social media comment, you're like, well, I'm entitled to my opinion and I'm just going to walk away now. You see what I
Right.
mean?
Right. You're not seeing the impact of what you're doing
Right.
from the other person. You're not getting all those cues of facial expressions or energy of like,
Right.
Yep.
So now, because I mean, that was cool. I love these little side trails, but I would really like to um, just take a moment to really talk about exactly what I'm talking about here, because we promise people the ability to elevate their sessions. So anybody that's in the audience that's listening in the future that is a reader, you can do this. Sorry, dry. It's dry. That's what, whatever. And I would love if you do it the next time you do a reading, if you'd let us know how it went, because I'd really appreciate, hearing from you.
Yep.
So again, all of us have whatever our prayer of intention, prayer of protection, whatever our, ritual is before we sit down to do any readings. So if we do that, so I've said mine, but I'll go through it again. So I am getting ready to do, for example, I'm going to do an expo. I am getting ready to do readings at this expo. Okay. It's not until April, but this is what I will do when I sit down. So if you want to just, in your mind, follow along so that you can feel what it feels like to set yourself up in the same way, I think that would be really cool.
Sounds good.
Okay. So when I get in and I set up my table and I put up my new banner thing that I'm going to buy because I guess people need to know who I am. I sit down at the chair and I make sure she doesn't come anywhere near me with that sage because I can't stand the smell of it. And I just visualize in 10 directions, north, south, west, east, northwest, southeast, and
Right.
and then up and down.
Oh, okay.
In other words, I'm visualizing creating a cube that contains the actual space that I'm doing readings in. Okay.
Yep.
So as I sit and say, I and my surroundings are filled with light, I'm visualizing these 10 directions and visualizing that cube filled with light, creating a safe and sacred container from which to do this work. I invite those who would benefit most from my connection to step into this container, along with the guides, teachers, and angels who are relevant and important to the questions. Only good comes to me, only good comes from me, and I give thanks for all the many blessings that are about to occur. And then at the end, depending on the theme, I would add, like so this is an expo. So I would invite those who are amongst all of the viewers of this expo, or all of the attendees, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I'm making it up as I go along. So I would have thought about this a little bit more first. I invite those who are amongst the attendees of this expo that can benefit most from my connection to the wisdom to be the ones that present themselves for readings today. And then as you do that, you're visualizing the sides, the front, the back, the bottom, the top, really literally creating a container. And I have had people say, I feel something different when I sit at the table across from you. So when I've done that, people can feel it. They can sense it. People who are sensitive to energy. And what I believe that does is a few things. I'm reading Coventino's. Anyway, so let me finish. And maybe I should not read the comments because they're just distracting sometimes. I should just turn them on and off, when I'm available.
Sure.
What it really does, see, I can even, as I did that, I can feel the stillness around me. It quiets all the noise that's around me, all of the energy that's around me. So when somebody says, oh, I want to come and clear this space, she's doing that for all the other people. I don't need that. I do that myself. And if everybody could learn to do that for themselves, then all of a sudden, one at a time, the whole place becomes an open and welcoming energetic space. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, but I think it's important not, how do I put this without sounding like, whatever. I think it's important for each participant to create their own space. And then for that to be, a combination, right? A cohesive situation. But what I'm saying is you wouldn't want to create that kind of a space amongst the whole building. Although I've done that too, to like attract people.
Okay.
When I have conversation with like the what do you call that person? The person who puts it together.
The coordinator?
Yeah, that's it. One of them that I do, she's a friend. So I will sit with her and and then I will work with her and we will create an energy matrix to attract people to the space on that day, which is different from the energy matrix I create for the space that I do my work. So, yes, I'll add that. So this is an expo situation, right? Like the people are going to be there. They're going to be there in person. How do we adjust this to doing a reading for email or over Zoom, right? It's the same thing. You just visualize the space for the person that you're going to meet with to actually enter. So you just connect with them. It depends on how you're going to do it, right? If it's just an email, you're not meeting with them in person. If you're meeting with them on Zoom, you can visualize, their computer on one side, your computer on the other, and visualize it both being in the same room.
Yep.
If it's an email reading, you just create a visualization of the person walking in and sitting across from you. So it's really, when I figured this out and started doing it regularly to do readings, I was like, oh wow, this is huge.
Yeah.
Because it's just so much more powerful. So I find it interesting, and I just wonder how many people we know that do readings, that do really good readings, that do this already. They just don't realize what they've done is create an energy matrix.
Yeah, I think that's probably the case. I know other people that I've studied with have described it this way. You put your energy out there and you meet their energy, and they end up with a meeting of the two energies that sounds similar. I know not exactly the same, but long and short of it is that I think people that are doing this and who are very good at what they do, yeah, like you said, are already doing some form of this.
Yeah, it's just so. But I also think that if they don't realize that's what they're doing, if they started doing it more consciously, they could really ramp up, And I think it would be a really good thing for people who are new to it to actually learn it right from the beginning.
Yep.
So,
so let's just say that real quick. If you are a new tarot reader or a new oracle card reader, or fill in the blank, do what Angie just described a minute ago when you do your next reading.
And see. And let us know.
Yeah. Come
back and let us know how it went. But yeah, because I do it when I do energy sessions, I will now, whether they're in person, which I haven't done in quite some time. I used to do quite a bit more in-person energy sessions than I do now, but I do the same thing when I do a remote energy session. I'm actually visualizing the person coming into the space that I'm in, so that I can work in. In fact, I don't do it as much as I did in the beginning, but in the beginning, when I would do that and I would create that room, I would actually stand in my living room as though I were standing over a table and doing the work, And it's always interesting because you always feel like, is this going to work? How does this work? How does this, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
How is this going to work? And so recently, and it's been a while, but I did a house clearing over the weekend. Not long, just this past weekend, I did a house clearing. Somebody I didn't know. And my method is a little bit different, because I actually read the energy and I do a whole assessment of the energy in the room or in the building, on the property, really. And then I clear the energy, and then I do, a blessing to clear the energy and everything. But it's always interesting because when I do a house, even, I actually visualize myself on the property with the house in the space. I use my method for remotely connecting that I learned in Amakua Key. So it's a little bit different than Reiki, but it works, I think, no matter what. But I literally visualize myself there in the space so that as I'm doing the work, I've created now, again, an energy matrix with me within the space to clear the property. And when I actually, then I communicate with the client after. I do the clearing work, then I talk after to give them the report and everything. She explained everything that was going on in her home, and the energy readings were spot on. And so it's always that case where I say, is this going to be the time where I get it, 100% wrong? And it just doesn't happen.
I know that's
it's not, but I can tell you that there have been times where I've kind of phoned it in. And it's, I'm still, I still get the information, but it's not anywhere near. Oh, sorry. I don't know. I hope I'm not getting a cold or something, because that'll piss me off. But anyway,
someone will have to pay for that.
Who's got right? Who's got time for that crap? Anyway, now I lost my train of thought.
No, you're saying that sometimes you don't get 100% of the information. Sometimes you have to phone it in, as you say.
Oh yeah, and it's not. I still get the information, but it's not as easy to tell the stories.
Right.
It's not as easy to access because when I read property, I haven't said this on air for a while. When I read the energy of a property, I'm reading the energy of the property. I do not assess the energy of the people in the property. Oh. I have not been given permission to read the energy of the people. I don't mess with people's energy without permission. Yep. And I don't believe that anybody should. And I'd like to see somebody try to do it to me. But, that's another day or another game for another day.
Right. Your energy will get them back.
Right. Yeah, of course.
Serves you right.
No, well, they just can't get what they want because they can't get in. But my point was going to be that I read the energy of the house, and then when I speak with the person on the phone, now I've been given permission to have that conversation with the person, and what they share with me then gives me that connection to the people, and that's how I create the stories. So when I do the house and clear the house, I'm reading just the pure energies that are present. Mm-hmm. Miscommunication, self-doubt, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And then when I speak with the people, then I find out that this is why, because this is what's going on. What's really interesting is when I read the house, and I've had this happen twice, I read the energy in the house, and based on the readings that I get and the reports that I give to people, they confirm pretty much that I'm reading the energy of the people that lived there before.
Oh, interesting. Kind of a residual leftover.
It is leftover. When you buy a house, you should always clear the energy with fresh air and with music, or something that's really going to shake it loose, right? Mm-hmm. Sage is what it is.
Right.
I mean, I know that they've been using it for centuries, but I just don't feel like it gets inside the walls like it cleared the walls of a teepee.
Oh, that's interesting. That's very interesting.
Yeah, because we've got hollows in our walls now, mm-hmm. right? Before, the walls on the teepee were just hide.
Yep.
Anyway.
That's funny.
Okay, I mean...
You and I talked about this a while ago. There's a room in my house that every time I sat down at that particular chair, I would start sneezing.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's gone away. So whatever you did seems to have worked.
There you go.
Yeah. But that you said, "Oh, John, that's energetic. I'll look into it," and you did.
There you go. It's one of those things, we're sensitive to energy in all different kinds of ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, Coventina does house clearings too.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, there's all different ways to do it, right? Like, I just don't want anybody running around my house with smoke because I don't like the smell of it. I really don't like that. The smell is very disagreeable. The smell of a lot of things is very disagreeable to me. And the more connected I get, the worse it is, honestly. I've heard a lot of people say that, like.
Yeah, I've heard sensitivities to things, either whether it's light or sound or smells, increases as you get more energetically connected.
Yeah, my husband and I went to dinner for See, the drum is a good way to clear energy. The drum is a great way to clear energy. Anyway, we went to dinner, and the girl, I don't know why they let food service do this, but the girl had perfume on. I thought I was going to have to leave because every time she'd walk up to the table, and of course the direction we were sitting, she had to walk up next to me, and I'm like,
right, stop.
I can't, and I didn't even like the smell of it. It was just whatever.
It wasn't good perfume.
No. I wonder. This is what I'm going to get up for 1 second.
All right.
This is what one of the things I use to clear energy.
All right. Oh, cool. Huh. I've never seen one of those.
Thunder drum.
Okay. Yep. That sounds like thunder.
And when you're standing up and it's a drum, then it's got a spring, a really long spring.
Oh, okay.
So if you're standing up,
yeah,
it's really loud. But if you think about it, what is more clearing than thunder and rain?
Right.
So anyway.
Well, I'm going to say if I were to do house clearings, I would go get a harp.
Okay. That's a good plan. I have bells and bowls.
I have a bowl.
I have Tibetan bell.
I have
my bowls aren't here.
Tuning forks.
Yeah. Tuning forks. That's weird. Have you ever done that?
Oh, on your head?
Yeah.
Yes. In fact, I used it for sinus problems, and it works.
Yeah, because I didn't think about that.
Might be here. We'll offer some medical advice, shall we?
Yeah, that's a great plan. Oh God.
Right. You're gonna get us shut down, right?
Okay, John, you're on a roll today. Getting rid of one of our friends, giving medical advice, offering to pay people to put our banner on their car. Oh my God.
I just got a nice reply from Deborah.
Oh, good.
She said she was laughing.
That's good. I'm glad. Now, hopefully we can figure out how to undo it.
Oh, so for hers, it wasn't a ban. It was a 5-minute timeout. So it reversed itself after 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
because
she's good to go.
all I can see was that she was banned.
Yep. Yeah. If you look, there's a little icon next to her name with an hourglass.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So anyway, back to the show.
No, that's good. People have YouTube channels that we know, so that's good to know. That's what happens when you post the live stream early.
Yep.
But that's okay. Anyway,
they show up for 2 minutes and then they leave.
There she is. She ends up in timeout for much longer.
Oh.
She's back. Okay, it's all good.
Deborah, we were worried.
Goodness.
We were very worried.
I was very upset. But, only because those other comments were pretty horrendous. And anyway, so that's the gist of what I think of as an energy matrix. I think that sometime it would be fun to get a group of people on like a Zoom chat or something and just go through it.
I think that's a great idea.
No one keeps the Queen of Air off the line. Which queen am I again, John?
Swords, which is same.
Oh, it is the same?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll see that. See, I don't know. But I'm a graduate.
Doesn't mean you have to pass the exam again. You only had to pass it once.
Yeah, right.
Hey, you want to do a quick reading with?
Yeah, let's do that. We have a little
with an
time.
energy matrix. Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, we did create an energy matrix, so
yes.
Let's see. What are you going to use?
I think I'm being drawn to use my standard Lightseer's guide.
Well, I believe I'm going to use. Wait.
Oh, we have a nice comment from Deborah. She says that when she did the collaboration with you last year, the container you created was excellent.
Oh, so thank you.
That's a nice testament to your.
Yeah, we really had a good. That was a great. That collaboration was fun.
Yep.
I can't
remember
wait
you talking about it.
I can't wait till my till my life settles down again, and I can really till my time is 100% my own again. And
yep, agreed.
So which one should I use? The one I found right after the new one came, or the new one?
Oh, well, what is your energy telling you?
I don't know. This one, whatever this one is. I think it's the new one. No, it's not the new one. Isn't that interesting? It's the old one.
Maybe it's got more.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you can, you kind of train a deck, right?
You're right, exactly.
So what do we?
Let's do a reading.
Thank you so much, Deborah. I really appreciate that. Thank you so very much.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. What should we?
I think our reading should be, what should we expect for the next couple weeks? We've got some potential turmoil headed our way in the next couple weeks.
Good point. So not what should we expect? How can we?
What can we do to protect?
How can we create? What can we invite into our own energy matrix to make it easier to get through the next few weeks?
Good. I like it. That's very well said.
Took a second, but we got there. What can we invite into our own energy matrix so that we can get through the next couple of weeks unscathed? Okay.
All right, I've got mine ready.
And I mine. Okay, I'm ready. Go ahead.
Okay, you want to go first?
No, you go first.
Okay. All right, so I did a 3-card reading. What's working for you and against you, and the most likely outcome. The first card I got was the 4 of Cups, which is the it's sometimes known as the boredom card. But when I pulled it, it was inverted, and for that it says one of the items there is it's time to focus on time to practice gratitude, and I'm like, yes. And if there's anything that's going to get us through the next few weeks, it's being grateful for what is in our lives. So many things we have to be grateful for. So that's number 1. Second card I got was the Fool, which is your journey. Your journey is still going on. You are still on your spiritual journey. And that one, enthusiasm and awakening, innocence, optimism. And the mantra in the Lightseer's deck is, I am ready for this adventure down my soul path. So there's an adventure, but it's not an adventure of craziness. It's an adventure of your soul. And then the last card, this is the 3 of Wands. So the 3 of Wands is energy manifested, waiting for the results of your effort. And the mantra is, I am expectant and optimistic, and I know that my dream is on the way. So what I'm getting from that is, don't let things get you down. Stay on your path and know that you are on a spiritual journey, and whatever noise is around you, stay on the path, stay on the journey.
That works. I only drew 1 card, and it's a good card. don't give up on love.
Ah, right.
Love is the antidote to fear, and fear is the divisive energy that's present.
Yep.
So don't give up on love.
love.
Love is the antidote to fear. And it's allow me to clear the way for forgiveness so that love can thrive again. Don't give up on love. Love is the antidote to fear.
I do love that. That's very profound and so needed right now.
Well, I mean, if you think about what can we add to what can we invite into our energy matrix so that we can get through the next couple of weeks? Love.
Gratitude and love.
That's it. Right.
Yep.
Gratitude and love. She pulled the card twice since the first of the year. See that?
Perfect. So it is a message.
And it appears to me like Coventina might have a didgeridoo. Cool. Anyway, okay. Well, I guess that's it because we went over time again, but that's all right. I don't even really know anymore what time is. So
yes, you've kind of.
I think we were trying to keep it to 40 minutes. I think, but
at some point,
whatever.
And then now it's 50, and
that'll do it.
We still have fans. We still have subscribers. So
there you go. Anyway, okay, so in February, Pat Blocker is coming back to talk about animals healing. Excellent. And then we have this really cool thing. The very center of the year is on July 3rd, I said, right?
Two.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, whatever. The Wednesday is the 2nd. And so we're going to do something for that day, something special. We haven't quite figured it out yet. But because that means that the same amount of year is behind as in front.
Mm-hmm.
So we're right in the center. So, that's kind of a tipping point. Are you going to tip? What can we do to tip you forward instead of hanging on to what's behind?
Sure. That's a good idea.
Something of that nature. We'll see when we get to it, what it looks like. So we have that. I haven't heard from, but I think it'd be cool to talk to Lisa. So we're working on some,
some guests,
some other things as well. But for right now, Happy New Year, everybody. The next 3 weeks for me are, I don't know I'll be on time. So, or not the next 3 weeks, the first 3 weeks in February. So,
all right.
It is what it is. But other than that, thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you for participating in the comments. Sorry for putting you on timeout there. Yeah, that. Oops. Anyway, thank you for that, and we will see you next week when we talk about whatever we decide. I don't know yet.
Whatever they tell us to talk about.
Yeah, we're still in the beginning of the year enough that we could come up with a few things. Anyway, all right, everybody. Thank you so much, and we will see you next week. And if you haven't yet done it, please subscribe. And if you like us, share us.